She stood at the gate for years, invisible, forgotten, just another soldier checking IDs. But one morning, a legendary commander stepped out of a black SUV, looked her in the eye, and raised his hand in a salute. In that instant, the guard no one noticed became the woman everyone would remember. The morning air was cool, carrying the faint smell of wet grass. At the edge of a small military base stood an old checkpoint. Most people never noticed it. For them, it was just a barrier to pass through. But for Elena Carter, it was her world. She had stood at that post for years. Her boots hit the ground with the same rhythm every day. Her uniform was always neat, her eyes always sharp. She checked IDs, raised the barrier, and logged vehicles. It was not glamorous work. It was not heroic. But she did it with care. Each driver who stopped at her post was more than a uniform. Each paper she touched was more than an entry in a logbook. Elena believed the small things mattered. She believed that mistakes, however small, could ripple outward. Her fellow guards often sighed at the monotony. Some slouched in their chairs, others waved cars through without looking closely. But Elena never did. Every glance, every word, every moment of hesitation, she caught them all. She told herself, discipline is not about being seen. It's about doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Elena's job had cost her many things. She missed family gatherings. She missed birthdays, holidays, and long dinners. Her friends often told her she was wasting her life behind a gate. But Elena felt otherwise. She carried her duty like invisible armor. She believed that safety was built from vigilance. Late at night, she would sometimes wonder if her work mattered. She was not on the battlefield. She was not leading missions. She was not the hero in anyone's story, yet she stayed. Because deep inside, she believed in responsibility. She believed in unseen service. One morning felt different. The sun was rising slowly, casting long golden rays across the road. Elena scanned the horizon. That's when she noticed it. A black SUV approached. It moved with deliberate precision. Its engine was steady, its tires perfectly aligned on the road. Unlike the usual cars, this one carried an aura of authority. Her pulse quickened, not with fear, but with anticipation. The SUV rolled forward, flanked by two escort vehicles. Its polished body reflected the morning light. Every detail seemed intentional. Elena straightened her posture. Her hands rested on the scanner. Her eyes stayed fixed. Something important was about to happen. The SUV came to a stop. The driver lowered the window and passed her a folder. Inside were documents, crisp and official. Her eyes landed on the name, Colonel Adrian Reeves. He was known throughout the ranks, a man of discipline, a strategist, a soldier who had led missions that many whispered about but never spoke of openly. Elena's heart raced. She had studied his name in reports, heard his reputation, even seen his face in briefings. And now, he was here, at her gate. She reminded herself, check, confirm, log, repeat. She moved through the process with care. Every seal, every number, every detail. Her hands were steady, though her chest was tight with focus. The silence was heavy. The other guards watched from the corners of their eyes. Whispers spread quietly, but Elena ignored them. This was her test. The SUV door opened. Colonel Reeves stepped out. He did not rush. Every step was deliberate. His shoulders were squared, his gaze sweeping the area like a man who had seen too much to ever relax. And then his eyes landed on her. Elena stood firm. She did not flinch. Her breathing was calm, her hands precise. She processed the documents. She adjusted the barrier. She logged each detail. Reeves said nothing. He only watched. Every motion of hers was under his silent scrutiny. The air grew heavy. Engines hummed in the background. Time seemed to slow, and yet Elena did not falter. Her training carried her. Her belief in discipline steadied her. At last, the process was done. Elena handed the documents back. Her eyes met his. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then, without warning, Colonel Reeves raised his hand, a crisp, deliberate salute. Elena froze. Her heart pounded. A man of his reputation, a leader of missions whispered about in legends, was saluting her, not as a formality, not out of courtesy, but out of respect. Her body reacted before her mind did. She returned the salute, sharp and precise. The silence that followed was electric. Her years of invisible labor, the countless mornings of monotony, the sacrifices she thought no one noticed. They had been seen. They had been recognized. The SUV moved forward. The convoy followed. The base returned to its rhythm. Engines rumbled. Boots struck the ground. Voices carried across the field. But nothing felt the same. Her fellow guards glanced at her differently now. Soldiers passed with more deliberate salutes. Even officers adjusted their tone when they spoke to her. Word spread quietly. Colonel Reeves, known for his exacting standards, had saluted a gate guard. No one expected it. And yet it had happened. Days passed. Then weeks, but the effect lingered. New recruits at the gate were told about Elena. They were told to watch how she worked, how she stood, how she noticed small details others missed. Her posture became a model. Her precision became a standard she did not boast. She did not speak of the salute often. She simply carried on as she always had. But she knew something had changed. Recognition had come. Not through awards, not through speeches, but through a single unforgettable gesture, and from that moment on she understood. Excellence is never invisible. The morning after the salute, Ilona returned to her post as always. The road looked the same. The gate stood silent. Vehicles lined up in familiar patterns, yet the air felt different. Her fellow guards stood straighter. They checked IDs with more focus than usual. It was as though her recognition had reminded them that discipline mattered, even in the smallest tasks. A young recruit approached her later that day. His voice was shy. "Ma'am, how do you stay so calm under pressure?" Elena was surprised. No one had ever asked her that before. She thought for a moment, then answered simply, "You don't wait for recognition. You work as if someone is always watching. You do it because it's right." The recruit nodded, eyes wide. Her words had struck him deeply. He returned to his post, a little more determined, a little more focused. Elena realized something then. The salute was not just for her. It had become a lesson for everyone who saw it or heard about it. Her quiet professionalism was no longer invisible. It was shaping others. Weeks turned into months. The story of the salute did not fade. It became a quiet legend among the soldiers, a reminder that discipline and dignity mattered at every level. One afternoon, Elena was asked to train a new batch of recruits. She guided them through the procedures: how to scan IDs, how to spot irregularities, how to stay alert even during long hours of monotony. At first, they fumbled. Some rushed, some overlooked details. But when she corrected them, she did not raise her voice. She showed them with patience, step by step, action by action. Soon the recruits mirrored her movements. They began to understand that discipline was not about rushing. It was about precision. It was about respect, for the role, for the people, for the duty itself. Elena watched them improve, and she felt something stir inside her. She was no longer just a gate guard. She was a model, a guide, a quiet leader, and though she never sought the role, it had come to her. All because one day at a simple checkpoint, a man known for his discipline had seen her own and chosen to acknowledge it.